Across into the box, the shot, the goal!
Hello and welcome into the official SDFC podcast. I'm Kaila Birds-Hefner here with Sal Zizo and Marvell Win for our second match day week of the season. What an insane MLS opening day that we experienced at Snapdragon Stadium.
Awesome. So my experience on the day, right?
Yeah.
So I get there, I got two of my kids, my parents, my one of my good friends. So we're watching the game. They're saying, "Oh, how's the game gonna go?" I looked at them square in the face. I said, "We're gonna win 4-0." So I was like happy that we scored a fifth, but at the same time I wanted to be right. So no, it was a great game. Really fun to watch. All around master class of how SDFC likes to play soccer.
Reminder, our last episode, though, you did predict an Anders Dreyer goal, and we had 5 goals scored that were not from Anders Dreyer. However, he had many assists on the game and incredible performance.
I just throw a bunch of darts, and then I just like to say it, and I'll hit on like some of them, and then claim that I'm just like
it's
this
a pretty
genius.
good guess.
Yeah.
2 assists equal a goal.
Yeah. I bet you he'll score the next one.
Well, he had a great enough performance to put him on the bench for the first team of the match day. Chris McVeigh, he had the first goal of the season for MLS play for SDFC, landed himself on team of the match day for MLS. We're currently sitting at the top of the Western Conference. And then
Wherever we left off.
Preseason, right before the match, we were put 4th in the MLS power rankings. I'm curious to see if that's come out where that would be now. Obviously, these don't mean anything
What's
right
so
now.
funny though is like last year we were like towards the bottom, and they use that as a chip on their shoulders, and now they're like 4th. We're so much better than 4th. So,
but I don't think that there's truly any more exciting way for us to have been able to kick off. And I think there's so many storylines from what happened in this match that are just like any number one of those stories that you get in a match, you're like, wow, that's amazing. And you had so many within this match. You look at, Marcus Ingvartsen, he comes back, he scores coming back from injury. You look at the past that he's had, kind of struggling to get back into the rotation and stay healthy. And then he ends up having that performance and getting back into the scoring sheet. And that, I think, is a huge performance. But then you look at, I don't think we could have had a better performance or moment than having our first Right to Dream academy player sign his first professional contract, comes out of Ghana, spends 7 years with the academy there and the international academy, signs last Thursday. We introduced you to him, Brian Zomble, and then comes in and within 4 minutes, I believe it was in his debut, scores his first goal.
Yeah, and it was actually an amazing goal too. So good for him. Good composure on the ball, right there inside the 18. But also talking about Marcus Ingvartsen, last year when we talked to a lot of the players, we always asked who was a leader in the locker room, and his name would come up constantly. And we're like, this guy, he sounds great. He sounds amazing. Sounds like a good leader. Sounds like an amazing teammate. We really want him to, get healthy, get on the pitch. And when he does, he scores a banger off the crossbar. It was so exciting and so fun because this game was like so many things. First, it was just Montreal coming out and just wanting to bruise us, just knock us off our game. And we're saying that these guys, they're going to knock us off our game. We're not playing how we want to. We're used to playing in tight spaces, but we're kicking it long a lot. Maybe we're adapting, maybe we're doing this. And then when the dam breaks, it feels so good to have 5 different goal scorers and scoring in their own spectacular ways. And I didn't know that you had that little 4-0 prediction.
Yeah.
But having the little guy come on and just ruin that in the best way possible. I gotta say, I don't feel sorry for you. It's pretty exciting.
He scored so many goals, we ran out of pyro to go off during the game. And I think that's just, what a special evening. Marv, we heard from you, Sal, on what your favorite moment was. But Marv, what about you? What was your favorite moment from this first match day in the MLS?
My favorite thing about the result was the shutout. Being an defender, I love that. Yeah. Duran coming in and being and in all fairness, he looks more comfortable on the ball than Pablo or CJ. He just looked very comfortable, willing to bait players in, play around him. But I would definitely have to say my favorite moment was Brian Zomble's goal. It was so exciting. It was the 5th goal where we score 5-0, and I'm in the stand like jumping up and down, fist pumping, because I know his story and where he's come from, and he's been on the pitch for just a limited amount of time, and he scores his goal, runs out to the fans. It was like I was proud of him and for him. It was just joyful. Yeah.
I've been covering the MLS since Charlotte launched in 2021. I covered them for ESPN, and this is my 4th year covering a team, working directly for a team. And I've covered many moments, Supporter Shield seasons, MVPs, all of that. And I think my favorite moment is just watching him and his 10 celebrations that we counted, just express that joy. And I think if you look back on the video of when he's jumping into the fans, you can hear them all saying like, "Go right to dream," and seeing the buy-in and the support of like what this project is and what that means to not just this team, but this entire global network of teams. I think it's so special. And it goes back to what we've heard on this podcast from everyone. If you're young and you prove yourself, you can get a chance. And I think that, watching that actualized in that 4-minute span was, I think, something I'll always remember.
Yeah, that's actually pretty important. No, and we're seeing the final product, but it took years in the making. I think we spoke about it a little bit off air. What was it? How long has he been with the academy?
He started with the academy when he was 11 years old. So he just turned 18 last Thursday. Jeez. So that goal probably was a proud moment for a lot of those people that helped him along the way to get to where he is. And we've all been in moments throughout our career where it's like, these like super special moments for you as an individual that like you hit this, kind of landmark. And I think knowing what that felt like, you can only feel like so happy for someone when that happened to him. And so I think when he scored the goal, just like so many emotions were going through him that he was just like, it was like a chapter was like beginning, you know what I mean, for him. And so, it was really cool to see in a fun game like this. A debut goal. I mean, that's a dream. So. And what I love too is the buy-in from the teammates too, to replicate the celebration that he's done in the past with the academy. You see Manu immediately come out there and help him with that. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to talk to him and see if they planned that beforehand or whatever, but I don't know. I just always like the buy-in and the support that you see and everyone celebrating with him.
I almost really felt like they were like, let's get him a goal too. Like, honestly, like when a player is 4-0, he's just getting on, like, Yeppe's ball to him was amazing, just kind of almost like, there's not many players in Major League Soccer that will see that pass, just kind of out the peripheral vision of his eyes and just enough bend with enough height and all that. So yeah, it was really cool.
And getting credit to him on the ball because he had enough wherewithal and composure to get a juke off, create some space,
beat the keeper near post too. Yeah.
And we're talking so much about the goals that were scored. Obviously, that was exciting. But then looking back, you kind of briefly mentioned it. Duran Furie, a player that we're going to be talking to very shortly and bring you that conversation. But amazing first start in the MLS, and to be able to get a shutout and have so much composure and so much impact into the game. In what he's played, a few minutes. He came in for the red card during the Western Conference Final, so did have his debut then. But then to play his first start in this performance, I think was really, really great to see for him.
Yeah, I think you hit it when you said his composure. I mean, he looked like he had already had 100 MLS games under his belt. Just super calm on the ball, and that just comes with years of experience of playing that way, but also just being here for the last 6-7 months and learning this style and feeling that type of pressure and feeling comfortable on the ball. So yeah, for me it was the composure that he brought to the entire team. It was like you wouldn't even know that he was 19 years old.
You mentioned it, that he looked like he had 100 games of experience in the MLS under his belt. That's actually, Anibal told us in the post-game press conference that is what he told him on the field after the game.
That's crazy.
And that's coming from a veteran who has played so many years in this league and across so many different teams. So I'm sure that carries a lot of weight for him.
100%.
We'll have to talk to him about it and see what he thinks.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was here when Anibal first came to me in San Jose. He was my teammate. He was all right.
Yeah,
was he the young guy on the team when you were there on?
No, because he's 1 year younger than me. So,
is he?
Yeah. He was solid from the beginning, though. So it's amazing to watch his career just flourish and then become like Panama's most capped player. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited for us to get to this conversation for Duran. But first, we have our first giveaway of this upcoming season this Sunday, March 1st at Snapdragon Stadium. It is our sports night presented by Dios Azul. And the first 25,000 fans that will enter the stadium will actually receive this American football jersey. Ooh. Here you go. Presented by Saquon.
Look at that.
What do you think?
I'll wear it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll wear it. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah. So this one has been signed by the entire team, if you've noticed. And so if you stay tuned to our social channels, you'll see who the lucky winner that on match day will receive this specific one. But if you head to the match and you're one of the first 25,000 fans in the stadium, you will receive this and walk away with it, which I think is awesome. I think this is a great giveaway.
I'm going to get mine. So
I should be there.
what was that?
But I am possibly, I don't know, doing the post-game show with NBC, so I don't know if I will be able
that's
to
awesome.
do both.
All right, Victor, hey, don't
But maybe I
forget
can
about us.
do, maybe leave at halftime and then...
Go and do the show.
If you have
Because the
time.
game's at 6, right?
Yeah,
Game's at
6 p.m. kickoff. So maybe you'll have time
I don't
to
have
make
to be
it.
there till 7:30, so yeah, I think I'll go to half. And,
First half,
Oh,
and
man.
then
I'll see if I
hop
can
in on
grab
the
one
show.
for you if you can.
well, then make sure that everyone tune in to NBC
yes,
and see Sal
to
on
NBC
Sunday evening after the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Support our boy.
Awesome. Well, we'll get you to this conversation with Duran. As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions. This player interview is brought to you by Adriana's Insurance. Save more, enjoy life. All right, we are joined by goalkeeper Duran Furie. Duran, welcome to the podcast.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, buddy.
So many people may know you as the first signing for SDFC, but we want to get to know what came before that. Let us know kind of your background growing up in San Diego, playing through these youth systems. What led you to your time here?
Yeah, it was a journey for sure. I mean, I grew up in San Diego, of course, and I started off with San Diego Surf. I was there about until 14, but I didn't really start really enjoying the sport until I was about 13, 14. I really started to love playing and training, playing in games until I was about 14. So, and then, there was an age where I was like, I needed to take a next step, I think. And that was about 14. So I was looking at MLS Next clubs, and I went to go try out at Philly, but that didn't fit me. So I went to Columbus Crew after that, and I think it would have been a good fit, but I couldn't leave home that early, I think. So I came back, and the timing was actually pretty good because San Diego Loyal just popped up. The academy was just starting up. So they invited me for a trial. And one of my coaches at Surf was saying, like, it's a good pathway to Europe. And that's what I always wanted. So I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity to make my next step forward in my career. And it really started to shoot up from there. I mean, had a few games with the academy where Landon Donovan was watching, and so that made it much bigger for me. And I showed myself and eventually made my way up to the first team, where I was able to quickly make steps. There was a day where I was in high school in math class, and I look at my phone at the end of the class, and they're calling me saying I need to go to Tampa. I was super shocked, super excited, and I called my parents, and they drove me to the airport. And then next thing you know, I was in Tampa, and we're playing. So it was a pretty exciting moment for me. But yeah, it just started shooting up from there as well. I started to get more game times in. I think I was about 15 when I made my debut. So that was a really special moment for me. Family, all the people, the city watching. So to show up for the city and be a representation of that was pretty awesome. But yeah, so the Loyal was a pretty special place in my heart. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Loyal. But before that, the Surf stuff, just got to make sure I get in there before Sal does. When I was, so I played for Surf, and I had a Nico Guluka. You ever have him up there, or you as a Ryan Guy director still?
Yeah, I've never had him, but I know of him. Yes.
All right, and one personal thing for the Surf Cup that I love to take part of. Did you ever have the teriyaki chicken bowl?
No.
What? What do you mean at Surf Cups?
I would like go to the smoothie section
Yeah.
and just get the smoothie.
Marv
Don't you
hasn't been around
yummy.
youth soccer in like 20 years, so
Don't you yummy.
I don't even know if a
You
teriyaki
missed out
bowl
on the
place
teriyaki
still
chicken bowl.
exists.
What are you talking about, smoothies?
No, they got a smoothie. I know what he's talking about. They got a good little smoothie place
Yeah.
though.
Well, aren't you loyal guys just loyal to your smoothies?
Yeah. No, but going off of Loyal, so I played there as well for 2 years. I enjoyed coming back home and playing for San Diego. You were probably in the Loyal Select when I was probably playing. I think I had just retired when you then signed with the first team. So walk me through kind of what that taught you, that whole experience, like what it brought to you on how to become a pro, right? But also be able to do that in San Diego, and now to obviously transition to the MLS club, SDFC, and like it's what you're living, like kind of like what Marvin I's dream would have been, at 18 years old, 19 years old. So can you just kind of talk about what it means to at such a young age, have that much pride to sign for the city of San Diego?
Well, first of all, I think I remember my first game watching San Diego Loyal. My dad brought me. I was behind the goal, and I do believe you were playing against Las Vegas Lights, I think.
Yeah. Las
that was my
Vegas
first
Lights.
game, and I was watching you. So it's funny that we're right
Full
here.
circle.
But yeah, no, it's really awesome to be like a guy to represent San Diego, and just how even if there wasn't a vision for me, like you could still make it to that level. And now that there is a vision for these kids in San Diego, I'm super grateful to be someone to look up to. It's really special for me to be that person.
Yeah, it's been I mean, awesome. Like I've always been, one of your biggest fans. I followed you since you've, signed with Loyal and have been around, and then now to see you kind of really like represent and showcase your talent. And we were commending just how composed you are on the ball, and I had mentioned a comment that it looks like you had already played 100 MLS games, and then she mentioned that Godoy actually said something similar to you. So that's just, it's really cool to see from a San Diego kid, and we'll always be supporting our own for sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And growing up in San Diego, guys, we were obviously a bit before your time. We didn't use goalkeepers as often or in the ways that we do now. So the comfortability, the calmness on the ball and that stuff, were you always a keeper? Did you start off with that with Surf, or did that happen when you went off to Northland?
Yeah, so I was a striker, midfielder until about 9. I was kind of on and off as a goalkeeper, but there was a time where we needed a goalkeeper, and I wanted to step in, and that was about 9. And for me, I think it took a lot of mistakes and trials, tribulations to get better with my feet. So yeah, I took a lot of steps, but when I took that step to Loyal, we were playing as another center back. Like as a goalkeeper, we'd push up all the way up and be that extra center back. So that pushed me way out of my comfort zone, and I improved so much from that little area of my journey. And I think that's why I'm so good with my feet.
There you go. Yeah, it shows.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
When you made that switch from striker to goalkeeper, was it immediate? You're like, oh, I like this? Or like, what was it about it where you're like, this is going to be my continued career path?
Yeah. Well, I always enjoyed playing because, we would swap around. And my parents kind of wanted me to be on the field. But it came to a point where it was like, we need a goalkeeper. And I was leaning more towards a goalkeeper. I enjoyed it so much. I loved watching David De Gea, guys like this, Tim Howard. So yeah, I mean, I think that's just what my passion was, and I just flew off from there. So
Going back to when you said, I think you were 15 years old when you got the call sitting in math class to make, what was that your professional debut when you went down to Tampa? Was that game?
My professional debut was later in that year. That Tampa game, I went as a second goalkeeper, and I was second goalkeeper for that whole year. I think it was September, just before my birthday, was when I made my debut against New Mexico. And, kind of similar to the Loyal Select Academy there, I was making a lot of mistakes in that game, but also had some good takeaways. So I was like, I learned how to move on very quickly from my mistakes and just focus on the next play. So, yeah.
I think you've said that your kind of like your superpower is your composure. And I know Marv and Sal have just mentioned, just talking about from watching you play, how calm you are in those moments. Where do you think that comes from for you?
Yeah. I think it's just my personality. I would say I'm pretty calm guy, pretty quiet. I wouldn't say I'm much of a talker, but no, I think I had to learn that. It wasn't just like something I had to experience the feeling of making mistakes, but also needing to look on to the next play. And I think that's why I got pulled up to the first team with Loyal. I started playing games with the academy. I was 14, and most of the guys were like 15 to 19. But yeah, that one game, Landon Donovan came to watch, and I was trying a lot of things. Like I was pinging balls around, but sometimes it would come off, sometimes it wouldn't come off. But I would just focus on the next play. And I remember this one play, I gave it up like right in front of the goal, but then I came back and I made a big save. And I think Landon and Matt Hall saw that in me, so they were like, "This kid has potential in that area." So they gave me the opportunity with the first team. So
is that the type of environment you've seen here with SDFC, where they fully understand? They don't necessarily want you to make mistakes, but they want to put you under pressure where mistakes are likely to happen. But they are well aware that if you try it and it doesn't come off, we have enough faith in you to try it again.
Most definitely. They have a really like European mentality, I would say. When I was in Denmark, I mean, they have the same mentality. It's just give the trust in the young guys to make the play, and if they don't come up with it, then move on. They'll learn from it. But yeah, that's what I love about this club. It's like most teams in America, they don't give these kids chances because maybe they don't have the trust, and maybe they'll make a mistake and they'll sub them out right away. But here it's a very European mentality, and that's what I love about this club, the trust they have in us.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that throughout the course of this entire franchise. One question I did have, so you mentioned you were a little bit quiet just naturally. So as a 15-year-old, playing in these games where you mentioned there's 18 to 19-year-olds playing, what were you able to bring within yourself to have the confidence to just start talking, right? Because like I coach, youth soccer now, and there's always those quiet kids. They're good players, don't get me wrong, but then there's, as a coach, I want to get that personality and get them to start talking. So like, what helped you to like open up more and say, hey, I can be this way off the field, but on the field, I need to be a different person?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like you said, I was a super quiet kid, like throughout the academy. Off the field, I would rarely talk. Yeah. But on the field, I learned like the passion would just grow, like that adrenaline would make me loud. So on the field it was much different. I think to this day I'm still like a quiet guy, but when I'm on the field, I want to win. You gotta have that mentality. Yeah. You compete, you put it all on the field, so it just comes out. I think I wasn't always like that. It did come out when I started to really enjoy the game, and I loved going to training. I think that hit me when I was about 13, 14. So
good. Yeah.
I think for a lot of kids looking at you, you're kind of like the blueprint. Like you grow up in this system, then you get to play for a team like Loyal and prove yourself there. And then San Diego FC comes along and you're the first player to sign for them. What does that mean to you? And then what would you hope that people take away from your journey?
It's super special for me. I mean, it's like a story, it's I grew up here playing through academy without a vision of knowing where I would go. Very unpredictable road, I would say. And having that opportunity come up to me like that was super exciting. And now that I'm here, being able to be a face or a representation of everyone has the right to dream it's fantastic. I'm loving every day here, being able to be that person to be a role model for these kids. And now that there's a route to professional level, I mean, anyone can do it. It's just if you have the consistency, hard work, and if you want it bad enough, I mean, you could have it.
And looking, obviously, when this team, started and you is signed here, there was nothing. So what have you seen in that growth from then to now?
It's crazy because I do remember going to Snapdragon, taking photos. And I remember first meeting the sporting director, which was at the time FCN sporting director. So I've come a long way. When I saw the first game, I was in Denmark watching on TV. It was like chills. I was like, I'm going to be here soon, and just super excited for it. But yeah, it's come a long way, and the city needed it, So it's pretty awesome to see it.
What was your time in Denmark like with Northland? What did you learn?
Oh, I learned a lot. I mean, style of play, and just living on my own. I mean, on and off the pitch, I learned so much. I was living on my own for about 7 to 8 months there. So of course there's a lot to take from that. And from a kid from San Diego, I mean, you're living in Denmark, one of the coldest places. I was in the winter, so I was one of the coldest places, I feel like, and it was snowing. So I learned a lot. It was a big change for me, but I was able to adapt and just become a better person. So
Yeah, no, walk us through. So you get thrown into the Western Conference, finals, which is crazy. Like when I saw that you were coming in, I'm like, no way, like this is awesome. Obviously, since the circumstances sucked, but walk us through, like, what were you feeling? Were you just, did it happen all so fast that you just like were like, all right, let's go? You didn't really have time to think, about it. Like, before this last game that you just played, you probably knew for a few weeks or maybe even a few days that you were going to start. But getting thrown into it right away, like, what was your emotions like?
Well, I visualize everything. I try and visualize every single thing that could possibly happen in a game, whether I'm not playing or playing. So, I mean, when I had that chance, I already imagined myself taking off my jacket and putting on my gloves to go out. Like, I imagined it all. So when it happened, I was ready. And also for this last weekend, for the past week or two, I've been just visualizing everything that can happen, going up to the fans, after the game, celebrating a clean sheet and a win, and it happened, So if it's in God's will as well, I mean, I pray for it. So if it's in His will, then it will happen.
I have chills.
19 years old? You sure?
Did it play out in real life? How it played out in your head?
It did actually, which is really awesome because it works. I mean, I visualized coming out the box, not doing the header. I was coming out to kick it, but ended up doing a header. I mean, like all these actions ended up happening. So I think it's really a good skill to have. I mean, you got to practice it. It enhances your game a lot. So I recommend that to, all these young players. So
I'll mention it a little bit, just like your maturity. I think what you're expressing here right now definitely is a sign of that maturity and what Anibal was talking about, like feeling like you've played so many games. I have a clip here from your captain who went on NBC7 and had some things to say. Have you seen this clip yet?
I might have, maybe.
I'm going to play it for you, and then you just let me know what you think.
Duran is incredible with the ball at his feet. He's one of those modern keepers that can ping the ball almost anywhere with his feet. And for the one who dig a little bit deeper into tactics and stuff, that's was kind of our game plan yesterday to have him actually standing a lot with the ball because he's so comfortable and sometimes and often couldn't find the ball either for a midfield defender, but sometimes also to Marcus up front. And he has, as I said, an incredible foot, and it helped us a lot against the team who went a lot man-to-man the whole pitch. So yeah. Big kudos to him. It was good for him, especially when you're that young and get your first start.
That's pretty awesome to hear that. I mean, just my teammates have trusted me. And all the work, it's paid off. All the patience has come to this point, and I'm able to finally show myself. And because I think I always knew I had it. I just needed the opportunity to show myself. And this club gave me it. So super, super grateful for that.
Yeah, it's one thing to be looking at a team and being like, I'm going to play in that stadium one day, to, okay, I'm starting, to being like a pivotal role in the strategy of the game, building out the back. And not only that, but I was talking about earlier how your you want to bring the pressure in. It's not you get the ball and you just move it to kind of get it out your way. You're like, all right, you have to be comfortable with someone coming directly at you. Is that something that you practice as well? I mean, obviously when you're out in the training pitch, you're not just shot stopping, but it's also the distribution. And do they just have like offensive players just on top of you?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta train these things every day, and I think you could do it in training, but to do it in the games, it takes bravery. And it's really vital as a goalkeeper to be brave in the air with pressure on you, and then when you're on the ball, pressure coming towards you, because this is the way to play out the back. I mean, once the pressure comes, it's your cue to play, and then we'll play out from there. So it's all about being brave, I would say, and calmness. So yeah, we train this every day, and it's part of what our DNA is. So yeah.
So something I noticed, and Marv and I were talking about it too. So when you were on the ball a lot, say you received it from Manu, Chris would be sometimes wide open, and I'd be like, okay, that's the most logical pass, right? But you'd get it, you'd wait a little bit, and you'd kind of find that, like, let's find Anabal's left foot because then he can get out that way, or let's find Yeppe who can maybe turn. So obviously it was part of the game plan, but does a piece of you notice that and you want to play wide, but hey, that's not in our game plan, and so you kind of try to go more central?
Yeah, I mean, from the start, I had to learn that a little bit because I think everyone in the stadium sees that. They see he's open, but they don't understand that that's a pressing trigger for the other team.
For the other team, yes.
So what we do is we want to play against the pressure.
Yeah.
So we have to be patient on the ball, and once that pressure comes, we either play against the press directly at center back or to our 6 and a third man back to our center back. So we don't want to play with the pressure.
Yeah.
We're trying to play against the pressure.
Make it less predictable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you look back on your first MLS start, maybe later down the line, what will be your favorite moment, you think, from the evening?
It's a good question. I think, firstly, walking out with all the fans, looking to my left, the supporter section, looking to my right, all the fans filling up the stadium. And then national anthem, seeing family out there was really awesome. And then, of course, the header was a pretty good action, I think.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Did it hurt? Did Manu get the brunt of it, or did you? I mean, it was kind of.
There
it is.
No.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, we ran into Manu, but other than
I was just hoping both of you got up and you guys shook it off and moved on.
Yeah, I didn't feel it at first. The adrenaline, But yeah.
Nice.
You were a part of the 2024 CONCACAF U20 US team that had a lot of familiar faces on it that you now play with, some, current and former teammates. You've got Luca Bambino, Pedro Soma, David Vasquez. I believe Aiden Harangi was part of that team as well. I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but what was that like to be a part of that team? And then fast forward, getting to experience, playing this life with them here.
Yeah. When I was at that tournament, I would have never thought they would all be on my team, and when I saw those signings happening, I was just so happy because, it's just chemistry, It's going to build the team. It's only good for this team to have players with experience with each other, and we're all the same age, It's kind of crazy to see that, but I'm super happy to have them as my teammates because we have such good chemistry. So.
Awesome. We're happy to have you all. Well, thank you so much. That's all we have for you.
Thank you, guys. I
Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, man. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.